Welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I am Lupagus here with Onebar, and we are a little bit smarter after the game yesterday. We're not very happy, but we are much smarter than we were just 24 hours ago.
I don't know if I'm any smarter.
Well, before we get into things that made us smarter, the things we learned in the Vikings loss to the Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We are on the precipice of 2K. I can smell it. It smells delicious.
Well, it smells like a nice ham omelet.
Really? Cheese in that thing?
Cheese in it, cheese on top of it, cheese everywhere.
Well, he won't be pooping for days after you eat that thing.
Worth it.
All right, let's hop into this. The lessons we learned in the Vikings' very disappointing loss to the Chicago Bears. The first thing that was abundantly clear, our kicker, Dan Bailey, I don't know if he took some Rolaids, Pepto-Bismol, or some Gas X, but he appears completely over his case of the yips.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Those first kicks he was doing, a little scared for old Danny boy, but he came through. I would like to say I think we learned something else, is that just Dan Bailey every once in a while is gonna get the yips, and he's gonna bounce back, because every time this happens, he kind of bounces back with a good game. He gets the yips.
Yeah, well, that's great, but I don't care if he was perfect yesterday. He rolls out there next week against the Saints, or this week against the Saints. I'm still gonna be nervous as hell for that first kick and the second kick and the fourth kick.
I'll be nervous for the rest of my life, regardless of who our kicker is for the Minnesota Vikings. Every kick, we're damaged goods. Every kick is a damn misery.
It's a roller coaster ride of emotions.
But well done, Dan. Well done. It could have been much worse.
Yeah, he was almost my stud of the game yesterday.
Whoa.
All right. So another thing we learned, this is probably the most disheartening thing that we learned yesterday. This team is not going to the playoffs. It's not going to happen. There's like a 0.2% chance that they can still do it. But no, there's no playoffs for the Minnesota Vikings in 2020.
No, unfortunately, the dream is dead. I believe it's 3%. Like, the Cardinals have to lose out, right? Chicago has to lose like 2. It's not even worth going over. Vikings stepped on their wiener. It's over. The dream is dead. Let's just hope we beat the Saints.
Exactly. Let's beat the Saints. And let's remember this. If the Vikings were to get in, the way this defense is playing, the way the O-line is playing, there's no way in hell they would have won a game. Would have been a one and done, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, pick in the 20s kind of a thing. So maybe in the long run, for the future of this team, it's actually better.
Yeah, would have gave us another week of football. But you're right. Yeah. You're right. I mean, we didn't make it on the next year.
Yeah, I agree. It was a tough one to swallow, but we learned it. Another thing we learned is this defensive line is going to look a lot different next year, and hopefully a lot better.
Yeah, I don't even know where you want to start. I mean, not even counting the fact we get Pierce and Hunter back, but we got some players that probably don't belong in the NFL, and it's going to look different. I think it's fair to say that the front seven are going to look pretty damn different. So can we lump the linebackers in here? Is that cheating?
I mean, we can. I just don't know how. Is Wilson going to be back? Barr going to be back? One of those two definitely going to be back. I don't know who the other guys are going to be. So, yeah, it's probably fair to lump those in there. And I think it's not just the starters. You got to look down the depth chart. Who do you really want to keep on this depth chart other than DJ Wanham? The D tackles could all be completely different. No one's really stepped up consistently this year. Armon Watts has been disappointing. Mata'afa had like a game and a half where he flashed. So from a starter standpoint, all the way down the depth chart, there could be a ton of new faces on the Vikings defensive line next year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jaleel Johnson's gone. Stephen's got. Anybody is fair game except for Wanham. Odenigbo, what's he signed through? He's on a free agent next year. He'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be cheap.
But Mata'afa and going to the linebackers, just looking at the depth. I mean, I think Todd Davis is a worthy person to come back for depth. Oh. Not a starter. He's a good depth piece. But when you look at a lot of these players we have, they were all cut. Nobody wanted them. We got Hardy Nickerson, Todd Davis, Jordan Brailford. I mean, I'm really glad what he did that 1 week, but our defense is littered with guys that cut. Ryan Connolly. These guys don't deserve to be in the NFL, and they're showing it. It's disgusting.
Our defense is litter, not littered. It's just pure litter, full of cat shit.
It's just stinky ass litter.
Yeah, like 4-month-old litter reeks. All right, Last thing we learned, and this is probably my favorite on the list. Is it time to start calling number 83 Tyler Konkowski?
Tyler Konkowski, the Conklin, the Conkers. Man, it's been nice to watch him. He any chance he's gotten, he's that touchdown yesterday. He wanted that damn thing. I mean, he has proven to be a very good depth piece at tight end. And if Kyle Rudolph is in fact Gonzo, I'd be more than comfortable with Konkadonk as our backup tight end.
Yeah, I mean, he's catching everything thrown to him, and the way he fought and drove, lowered his shoulder, and kept driving to get that touchdown, like you said, he wanted it. It was there. He could smell it. He had to have it, and damn it, he got it. Yeah, you get rid of Kyle Rudolph, and I think you got two solid tight ends. If I want to see Conklin do it the next couple of games too. I want to see him catch another 3 balls a game, maybe get another score. But if he can finish, 4 or 5 games showing that he can catch the football, I think the Vikings should be feeling pretty damn good about him heading into next year.
Yeah, and his big thing was coming out of college is he was just this receiving tight end. He couldn't block worth a damn. And I think he's proven that he can hold his own blocking as well. It might not be his strong point, but it's definitely not a weakness when he's out there. So, yeah, well done, Konkanok. Yes.
All right, those are the 5 lessons we learned in the Vikings' horrible, deflating loss to the Chicago Bears.
You missed one. That was only 4. We got play calling as
Oh, got it. It's good, that one. Wow. Yeah, you're right. I learned I'm an idiot today. Yeah, the play calling. This play calling yesterday, completely vanilla. I just think Gary Kubiak as a whole this season has been not very creative. You look at the premier offenses in the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Rams doing all kinds of creative things. Even Matt Nagy's first year, they're moving guys around, being kind of nutty. You don't see that from Minnesota Vikings. And 4th and 1, you're running these half-ass lame dive plays. It's just mind-boggling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on 2 sides on this one. I think his play calling, like you said, has been very vanilla, but that's what happens when both your coaches are 98 years old. But you got to look at the other side of things, what he's dealt with or what he's dealing with. I mean, our offensive line, what they say? Cousins was pressured on like 40% of his passing plays yesterday. I mean, that's like obscene. That is not normal. It's not even close to normal. So I wasn't upset with the dive play. I don't like these plays that they call where they're just leave a guy completely unblocked, trying to confuse him. There's some confusing things, but I give Kubiak a tiny, tiny, tiny pass. Just the fact our offensive line is such shit.
Well, you can look at yesterday. He didn't really attack the Bears' depleted secondary till the second half. He could have been throwing, more to Jefferson and Thielen early in the game.
Yeah, but the Cousins doesn't have any time.
Yeah, he could have pulled him out and shotgun, rolled him out. You didn't see much of that going on yesterday. So I don't feel like he game planned that well against the Bears pass rush, and they absolutely were back on their game yesterday. So I don't know. It's hard to say. Is he going to go next year? Is he going to be back? I have no idea. But yeah, I think the play calling, especially from an offensive standpoint yesterday, was pretty shaky.
Yeah, he always has like just these really random, just questionable calls every game. Like, why? What's going on? But it will be an interesting to watch in the offseason, whether Coobs is back or not. But it's valid. It's a valid lesson learned.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll get any head coaching sniff around. Who knows?
Nobody's smelling that.
I don't know. It's great. Seems like it smells like some nice, expensive soap.
I bet Kubiak smells like a expensive bottle of Brut.
Yeah, mixed with some scotch.
Hell yeah.
All right, so those are the 5 things I miscounted earlier. Yeah, we got a little bit wiser yesterday. They weren't all sad. Some are okay. Again, 2 games left. Vikings, let's just enjoy the ride, enjoy watching these rookies develop, and hopefully we can sneak another one from those pesky Saints.
Can't wait.
That's all we got to hope for.
Beat butthole mouth.
What about your mouth?
Let's beat butthole mouth.
Yeah, let's wipe butthole mouth. Let's not wipe them. Let's just shit on them more. All right. We learned 5 things today. Here's the 6th. About 159,635 people will die on the same day you do.